Here we are. It is a couple minutes before 12, and I am here for 5 steps to level up your acting career, day 2. This is a 5-day series. Yesterday was our first day, and today we're going to talk about some more interesting things that will help you understand this business better. I'm going to let some people come on in, and once they start piling in for this amazing free content, which I'm happy to deliver, believe me. Hi, Jason Evan Barrett. Welcome. I'll just read this little note that someone sent me. This little precious little girl. So, dear Wendy, I'm Mia. I had a consultation with you about a year ago when I lived in Colombia. And since then, a lot has changed. I started training with John DeCino, who's here in the United States, in California, which you recommended, and have now been to 2 of his Camp Hollywoods, which is basically, well, it's a lot of classes and a lot of industry professionals that come and teach. Hi, everybody. Let me say hi. Stacy Corbett, Jason Velo, Shane Santos, Peter Yankee, Sophia Wiley, Jamie Duershuk, Jason Evren Barrett, Fred Harris, Antoinette Newman and Michael Hines, Caitlin McComb, Mathis Fukema, David J. Lee. David, what a great consultation we had last night. I loved our time together. That was so special. And did you see that we're doing karaoke? I have to tell you that next Wednesday night. So you're welcome to come. Anyway, hi, everybody. Hi. So I was just reading this letter that I got from this girl from Colombia where I did a consultation with her last year. And I'll start the content in a minute when we're ready to start. And she's been training with John DeCino. She got accepted to 2 of his camps in Hollywood and came here. And then she was accepted to the Hollywood Arts Academy, Performing Arts High School in California. So she's moving to California. She just moved here this month. So this is, she says, my parents are so supportive towards my careers and I just wanted to let you know, thank you for everything that you do for me and for other actors out there. Please keep doing what you're doing and changing lives. You know, never in a million dreams would I have thought 20 years ago that I would be helping people like this beautiful girl who has a dream of being an actress in Colombia, South America, find her way to Hollywood in a supportive environment, in a way her parents are educated about the business and she has an opportunity to pursue her dreams. I will begin crying because you know how sensitive I am, but never in a million years did I think I'd be doing this. It's amazing how life takes you on a journey. If you just keep doing the thing your heart is calling you to do next and next and next. All right, so welcome back to 5 steps to level up your acting career. And I'm really excited about today's session because this is going to be some crucial information for anyone who's just getting started in the business. And seriously, this one conversation could save you. Uh-oh, I probably should turn that on vibrate. I can't have this conversation right now. I'll call you back. This one conversation is going to save you $10,000 if you don't trust me. Hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, even up to $14,500 if you avoid the myths and scams that I'm going to talk about now. Okay? So this is about how to avoid myths and scams in this business. I'll start by saying when you're searching the internet trying to figure out how to be an actor, you're going to come across a lot of them. There's a lot of people who are telling you, this is how to get in the business, this is how to get in the business, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. And a lot of companies out there charge you thousands and thousands of dollars to do that. There's a couple very successful, famous, well-known showcase companies that charge $5,000, $7,500, $10,000, $14,500 to go to their events and be seen in front of industry people. I'm going to tell you right now, don't do them. Don't do them ever. Don't do them. Yo, 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 Christopher Hollis. Okay? There are companies like this that prey on new actors. And this is one of the reasons I started doing what I do. Because I attended some of those workshops. I asked how much people were paying, and I was flabbergasted. It's a real word. And they are making a living charging actors thousands of dollars to be seen by agents and managers. I cannot condone that, and I don't condone it, and I don't recommend that you participate in it in any way, shape, or form. I don't care how legit the agents are that they bring in. Those people take everybody. And if you're not ready, managers and agents aren't going to be interested anyway. So why pay all that money? For the most part, you shouldn't be paying anyone anything up front. So to represent you, there should be no upfront fees. Anywhere you are in this country, if anyone asks you to pay them up front, don't do it. You've seen some scams where they say things like, we want to cast you in our commercial, and we're going to send you a check for $6,000. All you have to do is cash it, keep $4,000, and send us back $2,000. That's a scam. It's just never, ever, ever think that someone's going to pay you up front to do acting work in their projects. It doesn't happen. You do the work, then you get paid. So anything that offers you money up front to work is a scam. Okay? There are basic things you should be paying for. LA casting, if you're in LA. Casting networks, if you're outside of LA. Actors Access, a must. I mean, I talk to actors all the time who are new and they don't realize that they need an Actors Access account. It is mandatory that you have an Actors Access and a Casting Networks or LA Casting account. Agents and managers can't do anything for you without those two things, okay? How an agent and manager works. I have some notes here to make sure I stick on the topics, because sometimes I will start going off and I will say 1,000 other things that you need to know because I can't help myself. But I've got a little outline to keep me on track. So agents and managers, they work on commission, okay? As a manager, I was a manager for many years. I was an agent before that. I never charged a client a dime to represent them. And no manager ever should charge you a penny, a cent, a dime, nothing to represent you. We work on commission only. Agents and managers work only on commission. So we submit you for a job or introduce you to people. Your agent submits you for a job. You book it. You get paid. Your agent earns a commission. I don't like the title takes a commission. We don't take it, we earn it. We earn it by submitting you on 100 projects you don't book, right? So 100 projects we set you up auditions with and got you in the room or pitched on or tried to get you auditions, and you're booking 1 out of 100. So we get paid a little bit until you really start working, but we earn every penny of that. So don't use the word my manager takes or my agent takes. We don't take it. We earn it, okay? And this is a team. We work together. The law in California, if anyone calls themselves an unagency, like we're not really an agency, but they're trying to get around the legal requirements in the state to charge you money up front anyway, run, okay? I'm going to take questions at the end of this. I'm not going to read them right now, but I will say hello to everybody who just dropped in. Hello, everyone. We're on day 2 of 5 steps to level up your acting career. Okay, so casting directors do not have a day-to-day involvement in your acting career. You never pay casting directors for an audition. If you ever see any casting directors offering money for any kind of audition, run. Casting directors do not get paid for auditions, okay? Now, let's see what else you have. That's myth 1. That was myth 1, that agents and managers and casting directors, those people, they do not take money up front, okay? Now, not to represent you. Now, if a manager is teaching a class or an agent's teaching a class or a casting director's teaching a class, that's a different thing, okay? They're taking their time to spend standing there teaching you something. That's their time. They don't have to do that for free, just like you wouldn't. All right, so myth 2. There's a myth that says you must participate in showcases to get representation. No, not true. And this is something every actor should be aware of, especially parents. Parents, do not go to those showcases with your kids. Please don't spend $10,000 to be seen by agents. You can post your child's picture right on Facebook in Child Actor 101 for free. And the same agents and managers that attend showcases are in there looking at pictures. So free in this group, free. you're going to hear radio ads all the time that say, like, pay $5,000 for this showcase to get in front of casting directors from Disney and Nickelodeon. And no. The hard truth is that it's very hard to stand out in these kind of showcases. Okay? Because I remember going to one in Century City, and they had 700 actors performing, kids, teens, and adults. 700. And while it was fun to see all my agent and manager friends and stay in a nice hotel, because I do love hotels, and they pay for your meals, and they give you a stipend and sometimes a room or whatever, and we are having a good time, you know. We get to see 700 actors from all over the country at the same time, and we're really only looking for a handful that are ready to be there. And so maybe 50 of them out of 700 have a potential to be there, but all of them need to move to LA, and none of them know that. So it's kind of like, what a waste of money. What a waste of money for all those people that attended. Okay. The other problem with these kind of showcase companies is that they are going to usually teach intensives to make it seem like you should be there to pay $10,000. They're going to hire some casting directors to do some intensives. Honestly, can I tell you this? You can just read these people's books for $21. If you want to hear from casting directors, just read their books. A book like Confessions of a Casting Director by Jen Rudin. You don't need to pay $10,000 to go to a showcase to hear Jen Rudin talk about her book. Whatever, just buy her book. They also teach you, they also want to shoot you with headshots. You know, they offer these packages. Come to the showcase, and they have, especially outside of LA, where you have less opportunities and more opportunities to be ripped off. Okay, you have these showcase companies that do their radio ads, and they bring you in, and you go to a hotel, and then they try to sell you headshot packages. Those headshots almost always suck. Almost always suck. You're going to have to reshoot them. It's better to just look on the websites of great photographers in LA, like Cameron Radis, Kenneth Dolan, Sage Kirkpatrick, Mark Cartwright, Peter Carrier. Look what they're doing on their website and take those pictures to a photographer in your area and pay $500 to shoot them. Don't pay $2,000 at a showcase company to shoot headshots. No headshots should cost you $2,000. Okay? No headshots should cost you $2,000. That's a problem. And these big showcase companies tell you, yes, and you're going to get a banquet. You don't need a banquet. There's going to be a dance. You don't need a dance. You don't need these little classes in there with these little acting classes they teach you. That's not real acting training on a daily basis, ongoing, weekly, monthly basis to make you a strong actor. This is all called, in my words, a money grab. And that is one of the reasons I created TMFA, so that you'd have a safe place to ask questions, to be seen on Representation Sunday, take the course, my course, and learn how the business really works, so you don't get ripped off for thousands of dollars. Because believe me, there's a huge industry of people who are doing just that. I could never live with myself. I could never live with myself. I don't know how they do. And then they're going to upsell you. So if you want to have a parent come, the parent cost them $3,000 to be there. Really? I mean, how people end up paying for these things, I do not know. But you should know that legitimate companies will accept headshots from any place that shoots good headshots. So don't believe anyone that tells you you can only have headshots done with us. That's another problem with scams and ripoffs. Some of these small agencies in smaller states or towns say you need to use our headshot photographer. No, you do not. If they're insisting you use their headshot photographer, that's a problem. An agency or management company should give you a list of headshot photographers that you can go look at their work and choose from. And you should also pick up the phone and talk to them to see if you have a rapport, because you're the one that needs to feel comfortable in the session, not the agent or manager. You need to feel comfortable, so that you'll be free enough to give this expressions and emotions and attitudes in your headshot sessions. Hello, that make sense? So there are some showcase companies that are very affordable. I posted one today. It's called, I think, Actors Advantage. It's $59 to be seen by 5 agents. It would be less expensive for you to fly in from whatever city or state you're coming in from, pay for the flight, a hotel for 2 days, and $59 for that showcase than it is to do any of those showcases that they're doing across the country that charge you $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000. But what you have to understand about those companies is we're looking for actors that are going to be in our state to submit and submit you for projects. So on a rare occasion, they'll take people from out of state that they can put on tape, more now than they ever used to do. So somebody's really trying to get a hold of the Winster. Oh my God, 2 seconds and that's like 8 calls. All right. So there's a woman named Diane Christensen here in Los Angeles. She does something called Screen Test Live Showcase. It is affordable. It is so affordable. You should pay $300, $400 for that, not $5,000, $7,000, $10,000, $14,000 for these. Casting directors can't hire actors from workshops. Listen, there's been a lot of issues around casting director workshops in Los Angeles, so let's clear up some of that information, okay? Because in Atlanta, people do them there. In New York, they're being done there. In Chicago, they're being done all over. There are acting schools that bring casting directors in all over the country. California had some issues with casting director workshops because we have a law in this state that says casting directors cannot take headshots with them out of the workshop. They can watch an actor, they can give feedback from an actor, they can even leave the class and remember the actor and decide to call them in for an audition when they see their submissions. They look at the list of submission, all these people's headshots, and they go, oh yeah, that was the actor in my class last week, did a really good job. Let me call them in for an audition. They can do that. What they legally cannot do is take the headshots and resume with them, because the law in California states that's a paid audition. And what happened a couple years ago is many of these headshot places were not enforcing that law. So casting directors, all of them, were taking headshots with them. Now, instead of shutting down places, they could have just said, stop taking the fucking headshots with you. Check the casting directors at the door and make sure nobody's taking a headshot. Done. But, you know, people make everything so complicated. And if you guys have questions about scams, I'm going to read through them and I'm going to answer those questions. If you've had experiences with scams or questions if something is a scam, post it and I'm going to get to them, okay? I can see there's 64 comments there, so I'm ready to help answer those questions. The workshops are an educational experience. Many of you have not been in front of a casting director for a major network audition. So the time to figure out how that works is not always your first audition. You're going to have nerves. It's a network thing and it's scary and it's like, oh my God, overwhelming. There's so much at stake. You're so excited. You want to get the job. That's not the time to be confused about what to do. So you go to these workshops, learn, listen to the casting directors talk, read their books, watch their videos on YouTube. I know Claire Simon, who casts, let's see, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med. She's got a YouTube channel where she gives great advice and information. Go check it out. You know, learn in a relaxed environment what casting expects you to do. So you don't have to learn in your first network audition. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to watch out for you guys. That doesn't mean you're not doing any workshops with casting directors. There was a problem 2 years ago, so we're just not doing them. Absolutely not. If I was becoming an actor today, I would be fucking doing as many of those workshops as I could that with the people that cast my type, with the people that cast shows I would be right for. And I would call it part of my business networking. It is the beginning of a relationship with a casting director. It is not an audition for a specific job. It's a paid networking opportunity. And if you do really great work in that, they might remember you and bring you in for an audition, which is the bonus, So go there to learn, take notes. When a casting director gives you feedback on your scene, write it down. Take what they're saying and really see if you can change some of your skills or change some of your habits or patterns. But I will say, that the casting directors have got to be giving you feedback and having you redo the scene. They've got to give you feedback and have you redo the scene, because that's how you're going to learn. And sometimes they don't, sometimes they don't redo the scene, but they've got to give you feedback that you can apply to your work. When Howard Fine is teaching in LA and they put on a scene, he gives them a critique afterwards. He asks them what they thought they did right, because I've sat on many of his classes, what they did right. He gives some ideas about what he thinks they could do, and then they don't redo it. So it's not required. But to get the most out of it, you can ask, can I redo it, using those redirections, and see if they let you. But don't let casting director workshops get away with not having you act and give you feedback. You need the feedback, okay? So let's also talk about, can people get work from casting director workshops only? Hell yes. James Sassone, as you know, is one of my favorite teachers in this group. I've recommended him many times, helped him build that class that he's got going on there called Show Up to Book the Role. Why? Because I believe in him. I believe in what he's teaching. And I know that he started booking all those jobs by going to workshops only. Going to workshops only. They did such a good job in the workshops, casting remembered him, and then they brought him in for auditions. There's something called CD Select. I don't know if you know this, but it's when the casting director can go into Actors Access, type your name, and select you for an audition directly without an agent or manager. CD Select, and then you get a C-mail. So work that system, but don't be taken advantage by it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All righty. You should not be responsible. Here's another thing. I told you already, checks that are sent to you, and they say, you know, buy your wardrobe out of this and send us $3,000. No, 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 no. You are not buying your own wardrobe for projects up front. When you get to the job site, if you're doing extra work, you'll bring your own clothes. If you have, if you're working on low budget projects, sometimes they'll ask you to bring some clothing options. Maybe you'll shop to get some things, but these people are not responsible for paying you back on these low budget projects. So, you know, don't expect that. Direct bookings, let's see. I've talked about that. Yeah, a lot of these big showcase companies, they throw in well-known names of actors you'd recognize, so that they can get more of their money grab going. Because let's say they got 1,000 actors that come to this thing, and one kid gets representation and goes on to get a series regular and becomes a star on Disney. Forever, they will say that can happen to you. And that's why you should come pay $10,000, because look what happened to so-and-so. That's the gimmick. It's awful. Does it mean that the agents and managers that show up there are not legit? Doesn't mean that. They are legit. It just means you don't need to pay $10,000 to meet them or to see them. I mean, can you hear how ridiculous that sounds? You could create 3 short films with that, pay for your acting expenses for the year, your Actors Access, your headshots, enter film festivals, take acting classes. What the hell, wasting $10,000? No, don't do it. Let's put those people out of business, period. Yes, you can learn some things from them, okay? If you go, you're going to learn from casting directors. You'll learn some things from agents and manager panels and stuff like that. I've spoken on them. If I'm on a panel, you're going to learn, right? You're going to learn. But you don't need to pay $5,000 to come see me teach, or $10,000 to come see me teach. Go to YouTube and watch what I'm teaching for free. You understand? That's the scam part of it, when they charge you outrageous amounts of money for shit you can get somewhere else for a fraction of the price. So let's talk about books that are written by casting directors. Books that are written by casting directors that you can get if you want to hear what casting directors think. Okay, so Jen Rudin, Confessions of a Casting Director. Lisa London, From Start to Finish, Start to Stardom. I'll put these in the notes. How to Audition for Camera, Sharon Bialy. Audition by Michael Shurtleff. How to Get the Part Without Falling Apart by Margie Haber. How to Book Acting Jobs in TV and Film by Kathy Rankin. Kathy and Margie are right here in the TMFA. So is Breaking into Commercials by Terry Burland. right here in the TMFA. They're ready to give you information. They have a great book. My book, 25 Ways to Get More Auditions. I interviewed 25 different industry people and asked them how to get more auditions. I also wrote 25 ways that I know you can get more auditions. So I really should change the title to 50 Ways to Get More Auditions. And you can get that on my website. Just Google it. I booked it by Judy Kane, who's also a member here at TMFA. Judy is a working actress who's booked over 400 commercials. If you want to know how to book commercials, read the books. Does that make sense, you guys? I'm trying to teach you things that really will help you, not rob you. One of the things you'll notice about me is that because I'm a manager, my job is to manage an actor's career, which means I'm thinking of it holistically, like a circle. I'm thinking of it holistically. How does everything work together to advance that actor to the next level? What kind of training? What kind of headshots? What kind of books? What kind of exercises and spiritual work should they do? And what kind of clothes do they need? And how do they take meetings? And you think about the whole thing when you're a manager. When I created the Winner's Circle, I'm not pitching. It's not about, I have a product and you need to buy it. And all it does is talk about what I think. There are great teachers out there that teach a lot of different things, but all they'll tell you to buy is their shit. I promise you. All they will tell you to buy is what they are selling. I am not like that in the slightest. What's in the Winner's Circle are all the things that can help you, regardless of who created it. I recommend Bonnie Gillespie in it. I recommend Dallas Travers if you're building a business. I recommend Gwyn Gillis if you're building a brand. I recommend Heidi Dean if you want social media and other social media options, not just her. Ilmar Motor is great. I recommend numerous production companies if you want to shoot your footage. My Winner's Circle is teaching you about all the resources that are good for you, that are legitimate for you, that are reliable and can help you. There's articles from other people, books from other people. It is not a place to just talk about myself. So sometimes you'll find people who are gurus or whatever they're calling themselves on, and you find them on the internet and they talk about their product. And no disrespect to people. I like Amy Jo Berman. I respect her, and I send people to her all the time to learn about auditioning. But I highly doubt she's going to recommend her competition in any of her courses. These people are solely interested in selling their own courses. What's different about the Winner's Circle is it tells you about all these things that are available for you. So you can look at all your options and make your own decisions. But at least you know that everything I'm suggesting in there is legitimate and is worth doing. So that's something I wanted to explain to you guys for quite a while now. And Amy Jo is one of the people I always recommend because she knows auditioning. But I also recommend Amy Linden for auditioning because she knows her shit too. And then you go see which people have the right flair and style for you, Let's see. Let's talk about auditions and where they should take place. They should not be taking place. They should not be taking place in hotel rooms. They should be taking place in offices. Does that make sense? Offices, casting suites, like Cats or whatever in LA, or around the country. They should be taking place at an acting school, at a space that people rent. Do not go to people's private, personal hotel rooms or houses for auditions. That's dangerous. And don't listen when those people tell you don't bring someone. If you don't feel safe, you bring someone. I don't want to scare anybody, but this is the kind of life we live in, this earth, where people kidnap people and sell them for their organs. Like, I just can't even believe we are living in a world like that. I'll start to cry. But I want you to trust your instinct. And this does not just apply to the men or just the women, just everyone. Trust your instinct. If something feels off, it's probably off. If something feels too good to be true, it probably is. Doesn't mean there aren't great things, but usually you have to work hard to get them. And there's usually many steps to get to the great thing. So if someone's just handing you a great thing, there's probably something off. Okay, so follow your guts. Listen to your instinct. And if you have any questions, ask in the TMFA. Is this safe? Does this seem safe? Does this seem right? Because we will make sure that we guide you and help you, to try to stay away from things that aren't reliable. Let's see, what else? Yeah, just stay away from private, don't get in cars with people you don't know. I'm sorry, you guys, but you got to really be careful not to do those kind of things. Okay, so we talked about scams and things you can avoid. I'm going to go to our list of stuff here, all the questions, and you guys can tell me if you have any questions about scams. My hair is flat. I hate when it does that. You know me, I like it like, anyway. If you have questions about things that you think are scams, or you're wondering if this might be shady and things like that, I'm happy to answer those questions. So, and if you want, let me just read through these. I spent thousands for a showcase for the photos. And another manager wanted me to do to start actually doing auditions in New York. Is it expensive, to shoot good photos in New York? New York is very expensive to shoot headshot photos. Absolutely. Everything is more expensive in New York. So, I mean, you might end up paying $750 or $1,000 in New York because those are really expensive places to shoot. But it doesn't mean you can't shoot with less expensive photographers. Any agent or manager will take pictures and should take pictures that are great, regardless of who shot them or how much you paid. Glad you're discussing this. Good, I'm glad I'm discussing it too. CDs don't take headshots with them in New York either. Okay, I don't know what that means, sorry. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I love you guys. So I encountered so many scams before I learned the business, I know, and that's really what I'm trying to avoid. I'm just trying to avoid. Do I have a list of places to find these workshops? So in Los Angeles, we have something called ACE Studios, which reminds me of something else I want to tell you about these things. And in New York, there's One-on-One, there's Actors Green Room, there's Actors Connection. I think there's a bunch of that. There's in Atlanta, there's Get Seen. I know Kathy Rankin runs a great workshop place down there. Ask her, post in here. Kathy Rankin, can you tell me what the name of that showcase company that you're doing is? She'll tell you. If you live in a state that does not seem to have casting director workshops, okay, or they don't have showcases to see agents and managers, let's get creative, folks. Find acting schools that bring in agents and managers as part of the showcases that they do. And if you're in Minnesota, let's say, or Missouri, St. Louis, and you want an agent, but you don't know how to meet them, talk to your acting school and ask them if they can bring in a couple of the agents from the agencies into the school and have them do a showcase. And and if you want to help spearhead that and put that on, I want to encourage you and empower you guys to take charge of your careers. Take charge of your career. Don't wait for other people to give you permission to be an actor or permission to make things happen. If I was in Missouri and I wanted an agent in Missouri, those agents would know me. Trust me. Trust me. If I had to pay them myself to come to the acting school to see my work, I would do that. If I had to coordinate with the teacher and get them to raise money to pay those people to come, if I had to cook for everybody to get them all to come to a barbecue where they watch the talent, I would do whatever I'd have to do. I would give them whatever it took to get what I wanted. Don't wait to be invited into your life. Another, I go into detail, you know me, I go into detail about how to be powerful in this business, how to know about this business. If you want more specifics about this business, take my Winner's Circle course, because I promise you I cover so much in there, more than you will even think to think about. It's more than you can think to think about. and lots of detailed information. So let me see what else. Okay, Bree, Ace Studios is amazing. I learned a lot, plus send thank you cards after. Always send thank you cards. And Bree, did you get my note I sent about doing the next workshop there? There's a good CD coming in. Check your email for submissions. I'm not taking any submissions from actors. I am spending so much time educating actors, I'm not having any time to do anything else right now. Okay. I will be getting your course. Good, smart choice. Read everything suggested by you. Very good. And make your presence in LA. Make your presence in LA. Very good. And get the course before you move here, because there's so much to do before you come here that you should start working on before you even move to Los Angeles. There's so many things you can do to get your resume together, to get clips together, to get headshots together before you land in the most competitive place in the world for actors. So take advantage of your support system at home, you know, the job that you know you already have, the income you have, and take advantage of that. Hey, Addison. Oh my goodness, Addison. Anyone else? Questions? You're very welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. CDs that sell union vouchers, CDs should not be selling union vouchers. If you ever hear of a casting director selling a union voucher, call Sam immediately. Immediately. I've never even heard of people doing that. So Rusty, thanks for bringing that up. But hell to the no. Have you ever heard of the acting coach Winnie Hiller? I have. Okay, Alexander O'Neill, like the singer. Okay, if an agency likes your photos at first and signs you, and then turns around and says they're too dark and tries to get your shoot with their photographer, is that most likely a scam or stunt? Well, if you tell them you're not going to shoot with their photographer, but you have another photographer you're going to shoot with, and they say, no, 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 you have to shoot with ours, then that's a problem. Or if they say they're too dark and you have someone who's a retoucher who can light them up and see how those look first. Anyone who's demanding that you shoot with a certain person is probably a problem. Can you talk about what I should do after I have an agent and a great package? In Chicago, there's not a lot of auditions for youth if it fits thug roles, no comedies, original role. I won't talk about that in this stream because that's not what this stream is about. But if you want more information about these types of questions, take my Hollywood Winner Circle course. I cover everything. And I will certainly teach you in the course what to do after you have an agent and you have your package. That's level 4 and 5, the advanced levels. Do you hear something about TVI actors classes? They're not scams. Absolutely not. And I just posted something here in the TMFA. Oh, no, I think I posted it in the inner circle about TVI. No, TVI is not a scam. They offer classes. And Alan Nussbaum over there, he started it because people didn't know a lot about the business years ago. So he offers some business classes there, too. Who teaches at TVI? My friend Mark Teschner, who casts General Hospital. My friend Masada Nia, who's a casting director for feature films. They have an ongoing classes they teach there all the time. It's a great way to get to know Mark Teschner, who's just the coolest guy and hires so many actors for General Hospital. Obviously, he has to cast thousands and thousands of actors, so he has to know everybody. But he loves teaching, and he just genuinely cares about actors. I freaking love that dude. Let's see. I've been contacted several times by Uncut Casting. They ask you to pay a monthly membership to be submitted for auditions. Here's the thing. I say that in a lot of videos, don't I? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. In smaller regional areas outside of LA, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, you've got all these other states that don't have the massive industry that we do. They have a small sub-industry. That means they're doing a lot of local commercials, PSAs, industrials, a couple times. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze like I always do. My nose tickles whenever I'm, you know that. Excuse me. Are we sneezing? Perhaps not. They have a sub-market. They have some films that sometimes come through Kansas and shoot there. They have some short films, some web series, but they don't have a big market. I mean, you can grow out of that market rather quickly. Once you've done as many commercials as you can and a few short films, student projects they've got, you pretty much have nowhere else to go except a little more of that. And then it's time to move out of that market to a bigger market. And in the meantime, there are acting schools, I mean, let's call mother agencies that groom actors, have you shoot headshots with them and take acting classes with them. And usually the people that do that sometimes are actors that have moved from bigger markets and maybe did not make it in television and film. Meaning they may never have booked a guest star or co-star in their life, but they love acting and they want to teach acting and they want to try to help other people be successful. But they've never booked anything on television or done any theater themselves or directed a film themselves or anything. So check the credentials of those people. Sometimes there are people that have worked in TV and film, have shot movies and directed movies, have been acting teachers in Los Angeles, and now are moving to smaller markets to help their state, the talent in their pool, in their state's pool, to become trained, to pick up where schools have left off and they've cut off all those programs because they love the entertainment business and they don't want to make a living doing anything else. So they open schools and things like that. Look for quality training. There's also these little companies that try to cast projects and charge little monthly fees for that. A lot of these times, they're getting the breakdowns long after we've issued those breakdowns in our major cities. So, not to name names for now, but we have the breakdowns, and 2 weeks later, I've seen those breakdowns on other things. Like, I'll say one, Explore Talent. I've seen breakdowns in the breakdowns on Explore Talent 2-3 weeks later after they've come out. So you're paying for access to old breakdowns. That's why I suggest use Actors Access, use Backstage, use casting networks. And I've said before, there's an actor named Burt Culver, B-U-R-T-C-U-L-V-R. He's got a site where it says Casting Sites Compared. It's one of the tabs on his website, he's an actor, where he has taken the time to compile a list of legitimate online profile casting sites in every state in the country almost, and explains what's good about them or if you should stay away from them. So go check him out. Burt Culver, Casting Sites Compared. I'm just a world of information, and I love sharing it with you guys, and I love questions. So what other questions do you have? Let me read these. Just tuning in, but while we're talking about scams, what the heck is 9UN agency? I've never heard of such a fucking thing. 9UN agency. Exit that email as soon as you get it. That can't be, it can't be. Always look on IMDb Pro when you want to check out an agency. Look at the clients they represent and look on Facebook to see if you can find some of their clients and call and ask how they like the agency, or text them or email them and see what they think. See if they recommend it. You can do your due diligence. But always know that breakdowns are not, IMDb is not always up to date. Okay, when I was managing on a full-time basis, I had 50, 60 clients. You could see who's working on TV, who's not. Now, I'm not managing all those people anymore. So now you don't think I manage anyone or never have, because you don't see them anymore, because I've dropped them and I'm not managing like I was, because I'm focusing 1,000% on this and I only have 2 clients right now. So that doesn't, it's not always an accurate gauge of what that manager or agent has done, because it's only current. Anyone I've represented in the past that's moved on to another manager, I might have gotten them the TV credits, but now they're at another manager and it looks like that manager did it. You know, we in the business know who really did it. The actor knows who really got them the auditions, but you can't tell that just by looking at IMDb Pro, FYI. So my suggestion is go one step further. Don't just read IMDb Pro. Look at some of the actors on there, find them on Facebook, send them a message and ask them, how do you like your agent? Do you recommend them? Comprendi? Why I am able to think of all these things is just because I have that kind of brain that everything is attached. I know how everything fits together. It's just how I was gifted. Oh, Pam, you just registered in the Winner's Circle. Good for you. Oh, now you're going to have, you're going to have a peace of mind like you've never had in your life, because you've spent the last several years trying to figure out what the hell to do, and you didn't know. And now you're going to have peace of mind and clarity. You're going to know exactly what you need to do, and you're going to know that the things you're doing for the next 2 or 3 years are the right things. That's kind of like, whew, I can relax because I know that everything I'm doing is the right thing now. So congratulations and welcome to our group. Welcome to the inner circle. Glad to have you here. Is Backstage a reliable resource? Most of the time, but sometimes people sleaze in. I just said that. I made that up, but they do. Should I move to New York and then LA for film, or straight to LA? You can find work for film in LA or New York. Let's see. Gwen Lane has a free webinar going on this weekend for social media. I watched it. Amy Jo Berman, you didn't spell her name correctly. Let's get her name correct. Berman, B-E-R-M-A-N, has good courses. Yes, she does. Love the tip you had about looking out for casting directors on YouTube. Yeah, you know, I teach a lot of things in the course about how to connect with casting directors that you're not even going to think about. But you just wouldn't even think about it. So if you want more detailed information about what I know and the business, which is far more than I could ever present to you in this little live, take the course Hollywood Winner Circle, and you'll find tons of information in there that can help you move to the next level. So also, if you love this session, you're going to love everything I have packed for you inside the Winner Circle. That also includes a complete roadmap for your career. And also, you're going to love the next couple of days of Facebook Lives that I'm doing, because I am just getting into it, giving you all the information I can. Day 3 tomorrow is steps to getting your acting career started from scratch. From scratch. If you're brand spanking new and you're starting from scratch, this will be the live stream for you. Same time, 12 noon. And I'll answer a couple more questions and then I'm going to go, because I actually have a consultation that I have to do at 1:30, and today I will not be late. I'm leaving on time. If an agency's online submission isn't working, can you send an email directly to the agent? What's happening here? That's a lot of phone calls. Jeez, many crickets. Okay. It's just buzz, 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 buzz at my leg. Can you send an email directly to the agent if you find them online? Of course you can send an email directly to them, but make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Make sure you've gone through my course and you've got your package together. You really have strong headshots that match your type, acting clips that match your type, that start on you, that are going to pop, that you have, you know what you write in the cover letter, that all your social media looks right. I mean, don't approach an agent or manager if you're not at the top of the game, because you just won't get anywhere. Sorry, you just won't get anywhere. I'm moving to, yeah, I recommend entertainment lawyers in the Winner Circle, of course. I'm moving to LA in 2 weeks to start my second and last year of AMDA. I want to get your course and start taking more action towards my career. However, it's recommended much that we start auditioning. It's not recommended until our last semester. Look, some acting schools say you can't audition while they're in their schools. I don't agree with that, but that's what they do. And no, you don't have to wait to get the course. You need to train and learn as quickly and as soon as possible. While it's just added to your curriculum. You're learning about acting, you're learning about filmmaking, you're learning about producing and working with cameras. You need to learn about the business. It's all one thing. You need to learn about the business, and don't start taking action without the course. I promise you, you're just gonna have to redo shit. Don't say, I'm going to get my headshots and then take the course. No. That's backwards. Take the course, follow directions about how to take your headshots, and then go take your headshots. Now you don't need to shoot them 85 times. You know, oh, I'm going to take acting training first before. No. Get the course. Let it talk to you about what acting training you need and how to find good teachers and what teachers you need, what's going to look good on your resume, and then start taking the courses. Does that make sense? You start with the course. It guides you through everything you need to do to get the career started and then to begin working and to get representation. So you don't have to invent the wheel here. I've compiled everything you need to know in one place for you. So you don't need to invent the wheel. Let's see what else. Thank you for everything. You've truly helped my career so much. So glad. Oh, Cast It Talent is an offshoot of Casting Networks. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, Casting Talent. And that might be on Bert Culver's website as one of the, legitimate casting websites, Casting Talent. Okay, let's see. Should agents be accepting an offered agency fee on top of their commissions? Yeah, that's not double dipping. That you need to understand what that is, okay? I go into detail on all these kind of questions. There's no questions I don't cover in the winner's circle, but and if there is a question I don't cover, you will tell me and I will add it to the updates. So we really cover everything. But let's say I'm going to answer this question because I think it's interesting. And a lot of people don't understand this. Commercial agencies are encouraged to submit actors, talent agencies that have commercial departments, so commercial agents, are encouraged to submit actors on non-union projects by the advertising companies. The advertising companies don't want to pay full SAG rates. Fuck them, I say to that, because that's rude. They don't want to pay full SAG rates. Instead, they are all thinking, wow, we could hire non-union actors and save a ton of money. Another money grab. We can grab millions and millions and millions of dollars from all the consumers buying our products and not pay the artists. Why didn't I think of that before? Let's make all of our commercials non-union. And in order to entice agents to submit their non-union clients for these low-paying ad infinitum, use the images forever, no paying, low paying things, they offer agents a plus 20% on top of the commission the actor and the agent have. So you're going to pay your agent their 10% regardless, because that is what they earn on your earnings. The ad company or production company or ad company is paying the agent an additional 20% to incentivize them to submit non-union. Now, what I would think would be an amazing, there's two ways to approach this if SAG cannot deal with this. Managers and agents stop submitting non-union clients on non-union projects. Instead of opening non-union departments and only submitting them for that, they just stop submitting non-union clients and they don't participate in the problem. Or actors stop taking non-union commercials, and you don't take them until you're a member of the SAG, and maybe you join SAG-AFTRA, the union. Or maybe SAG-AFTRA comes up with a lesser membership that makes people union to do union commercials, and they get rid of the non-union actors altogether. They put them in a little subcategory that makes them beginners level union for all the newbies for the first 2 years or something like that. There's solutions to the problems, but that's another conversation. All right, so let's see. Yeah, don't put the cart before the horse. So good job, everybody. You're going through the winner's circle now. Would you agree that there are some small differences in resume forming and billing in the United States? Yes. Yes. There, Australia might have a different way. England might have a different way. LA, Canada. But, check with your agency or the agency that represents you and ask them how they want you to format it. But the overall purpose of the winner's circle is to polish you like a diamond and make sure that you look like a professional, sound like a professional. When you talk about this business, you sound like a professional. The worst thing you can be in this business is green. The Hollywood winner's circle kicks the green out of you. Actors, nobody wants to hire a green actor. Television is not hiring green actors. Agents and managers don't want to sign green actors. Green means you don't know what you're doing. You're not a professional actor. You don't know how to work on set. You don't know how to format your resume, your headshots. Every single thing I teach you not to do are the things that make you look green. And so my goal in the winner's circle is to make you look like a professional. All your materials are professional. Your understanding of the business is professional. No one's going to call you green after you finish the course. Now you can compete at the level with other working actors and be treated with that same respect. That's the purpose of the course. Otherwise, you're going to be green, and they're going to treat you like that, which means you won't get opportunities. They'll ignore your submissions. You won't get auditions. You won't get representation because you're green. Nobody's looking for, it's like if my dad is having surgery, I'm not looking for a green surgeon to operate on my dad. And that's how people feel about their projects. They're not hiring green people to work on their projects. They are hiring professionals that they can count on and they can trust, and you need to be at that level if you want to play in the game. So I think until you take the course and really get yourself to that level, you're just doing a hobby. You're just having a hobby, and have fun with that. And I'm going back to the real business right now, and I will see you guys later. I have a lot of work to do. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Day 3 tomorrow of this 5-day event. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to start your career from scratch. So I'll see you at 12 noon tomorrow. I hope you all have a beautiful day. God bless you. Do good things. Like I always say, don't let anybody get in your way of what you want to accomplish, especially yourself, because you could be your own worst enemy. Be your best friend and support yourself all the way. See ya. Love you all very much.